hello, my dearest Laureen, dear
Hello,
sister.
Damaris. It's so lovely to be with you tonight.
Yes, it is such a huge pleasure, and this is the first one to do this kind of interviews. So, thank you for the honor. So, tonight we are here together to talk about your very first book. You are an author.
hmm Thank you.
So, I have this hard copy here with me.
Have mine.
Yes, so what a pleasure to read this book. Everything I read so far is just delightful, and it has a beautiful energy. It really goes beyond the story, but it's also about all of this knowledge, all of this connection. So I would like you to explain on your own words what is this book about?
Hmm. This is a journey. It's a journey on the inward way and learning how to express it on the outward way. It's a story about two young Indigenous people who, through several metaphysical experiences that they have, come to learn about their heritage, about their culture, and marry it with the best parts of Christianity, of spirituality, and in the process find themselves charged with protecting a sacred tract of land high in the mountains in the Rockies. It's a story that it really excites me.
Yeah.
There's a lot happens in this book.
Yeah, I can sense everything that is happening in this book. And I have to say that this painting, it was done by yourself. That's what you have behind you.
It is, yes. I have the original behind me.
Yes. So how was the process? How did you have the image before or you have the book before?
The book came first, and this is actually the second image that I created for the cover. The first one was my first attempt at this particular style of painting, and it looked like it was my first attempt at that style of painting.
Mm-hmm.
So, as one of my dearest friends pointed out to me, she said, "Maureen, it's not professional." And I went, "Whoa, wait a minute! This is a piece of art. It is professional."
Mm-hmm.
But she was right because it didn't actually capture the essence of the story.
Okay.
And so I went back to a fresh canvas and did a meditation, and I asked to be guided to bring forward um, the most integral ingredients of the story, the biggest message. And to me, that's the relationship that we have with Mother Earth and with one another.
Yes. And I'm a very visual person with uh this is what I like about this book. It's the whole package. It's not only the story that you're telling in the book, but it's also, this image. When I look into the image, immediately, these are some of the things that I see. Well, I see uh, Gaia,
Mm-hmm,
and I see the grandmothers,
mm-hmm,
and I see the energy of the Black Panther, that is this raw energy, this feminine energy, so healing, so strong. The Black Panther, with all of the symbolism that it carries, I just can feel it right there. And the moon, I am so connected with the moon. So when I look at this, it's this huge moon, and we know I can feel the energy of the change and all of the stories that are around of that energy. You have the water, and I can see how connecting with this book, it goes beyond the story, because we have to understand that you are a powerful healer and a powerful channeler. So you channel so much wisdom. So if we are going to give credit, we have to give credit to you, but also to Source who inspired this. So your guys that are here with us tonight, also sharing this moment, I just want to say thank you to them. I love the book, and I want those who are going to read the book, please. This is a wealth of knowledge and healing. When you read these words, you connect to other reality and you receive the healing, the attunement, the guidance on your own situation.
Mhm.
So, reading this, and it goes directly to the heart. There is poetry in this book. It's a little bit of everything.
It is. It
And,
is.
and there's so much power in this poetry. So, can you tell me what you like? What is the piece of poetry that you remember the most that has for you a big meaning?
Oh, beyond this book?
Yes.
Oh, it would have to be a poem that I wrote when I was in high school. Um, it was kind of a, well, like most teenagers, it was an awkward time,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a deep faith, and I was attending a Catholic high school as a non-Catholic.
Mm.
I had been baptized united, and attending this school was hmm, was a game changer because it really did affirm my inner wisdom and my faith in the fact that I'm a child of God. It really did solidify that for me in a way that allowed me to be able to express it outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
And I um, had an experience. Actually, we had started to talk about it earlier. I had gone into chapel while we were on a class, on a graduating class, went to on a retreat, and one of my friends was going through an even tougher emotional time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was in tears, and I said, "Okay, we're going for a walk." And this is like midnight. And we walked into the small chapel on the property where we were, and she kind of slithered down into the corner at the front door, and I went right up to the front pew and sat in the front pews and had um, prayers on my heart to help her. Um, I had an enlightening experience, and I wrote a poem called "Prayer of a Teenage Girl," and it's actually being published. Um, that was a day or five ago.
Mm.
But that poem spoke the words of the love that I felt from Jesus for myself and the frustration as a teenager for what we would deem to be the lack of control over our life
Mm-hmm.
and our inability to be able to solve the problems of the world. But through voicing my faith in
Mm-hmm.
that poem, I healed that part of me that felt separate
Mm-hmm.
and out of control. And the energy of the Christ light came through me and was um, it was such an amazing point in my high school. It was the highlight. I have never ever forgotten the energy, the feeling of that being embraced by Jesus. Um, it's such an incredibly voluminous love that is expressed,
Yeah,
and it's a feeling of oneness.
yeah, feeling of oneness. I
Yes,
know, I
and
know, I felt
I
that
believe
before.
it came through that poem as well. And I wish I could remember it off by heart, but
Hmm.
another time.
Yes, another time. If there any poem in this book that you would like to read for us now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you would like to turn to page 12, this poem came, and actually it was the beginning of the whole story. I was sitting in the hot tub watching the full moon crest over the pine trees at the east of my house. And as the moon crested the top of these 150-foot pines, an owl began to hoot at me from across the road. And so I hooted back. And he came closer. And so we communicated under the light of the full moon while I was sitting in the tub. And so this whole scene of Kira sitting in a hot spring in the mountains is very organic for me. It had an organic beginning because I sat in hot water
Mm-hmm.
and spoke with the owl, and this is what happened. Full moon rises in the night, fills the sky with light. A breeze waves the pine branches gently, a sentinel of the night. Owl greets the night. Owl greets the night. Stars twinkling in the indigo sky, while wisps of fog flit and dance between them, calling colors of the moon. Owl questions the night. Owl questions the night. A maiden bathes in a spring water pool by the light of a full moon bright, cupped within her hands a pool of light, until the moon splits and two appear, sun's reflection and moon's light dancing upon the night, until one again they become. Light upon the night, light upon the night. Owl guards the night. Owl guards the night.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. And it's so profound. And you see how synchronicities they work. Today morning, I was by the water. Early in the morning, it was like after 9 a.m. And I look up in the sky. I have the sun in the sky, and the moon is still there on the sky. And I have my oracle card with me, and I say, okay, let me, is there any message for me? And the card that came up was of the divine masculine. And it was talking about divine masculine and divine feminine. And this poem, it kind of talks about that.
It does. It does. It speaks to both the it speaks to
Yes.
the balance of the masculine and feminine. And when Kira put her hands in the water, underneath the water, and the reflection of the moon in her held the reflection of the moon in her hands, and when she separated them, she saw two moons. And the moon is actually the light from the moon that we see is the reflection of the sun. So the father and the mother and the sonship that we have together brings us into harmony.
Yes, harmony. We are Other message that I like about this book is this message of harmony, of coming into balance. And these times is so important to be in harmony and coming into balance, balance of who we are. Balance for me, it means a lot of things. It comes to the place where you get to know yourself so well that you get to a point of peace inside of you that then you are firmly grounded in the present moment and you are at peace. And when are you at peace? When everything is balanced. Female, male energies, the connection with that what is beyond us. Whether we are believers, whether we have religion or not, there is something bigger than us. And then what do we have under us? We have Mother Earth. We come from the earth. No one can deny that. So this wonderful connection that we all have together. So again, this book is really like excellent to read in this time because it connects everything, honestly. And I also, as you know, I am a passionate of crystals. I am a passionate of crystals, and I have a bed of crystals here in front of my computer.
You
I
have
have
some
so
really
many,
beautiful crystals.
so many of them. So I will pick one, the ones who
Mhm.
wants to be shown now.
That's
There must
beautiful.
be a reason. So
Mhm.
what I like about reading this in one of the passages of the book, you describe a very powerful moment of an initiation and you describe in detail, detail by detail, what is happening in that session, the crystals, the name of the crystals. You describe how they were positioned. So when I was reading that, I was connecting with this information, with these crystals, and I thought, my goodness, this is so good. This is just the kind of information. And what I felt is Laureen knows. She has an inner wisdom about crystals that she probably has that. It comes from very ancient times, and you were just being the channel for that energy. And I thought, I think we can work with this.
Definitely. I hope that people would. This temple has been set in the etheric realm for us to use. It is not just an initiatory temple. We go through initiations with every new chapter in our life, every new thing that we discover, every new thing that we attempt to do.
Mhm,
Um, but it's also a healing center. The energy of these stones is conducive to clearing all of our energies on all levels and filling them with the divine light.
mhm,
Should we set our intention? Um, what would be really, really exciting is if when people read this part of the story, and it is the very first chapter. Um, the, the the description of the temple actually begins on page 4, and if people would read it aloud to themselves or outside to the trees or the rocks or the water,
mhm.
the energy amplifies because of the connection that you build with nature through the crystals. And the crystals speak to us. They have infinite wisdom that was deposited in them in that time of way back. We're just starting to tap into just the surface of what we are to learn from the stones and the crystals. Um, there's much more wisdom to come from the crystals and the ordinary stones on the ground that we find have such incredible stories. Uh, they tell us so much about who we are and what we have to overcome. They
Yeah.
usually rise to our attention when there is an emotion that we need to address.
Yeah,
And so that stone will bring the energy of that emotion forward so that we can address it and move through it, not deny it, but move through it and
yeah,
heal. Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to show you this rock.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, this is magical. This is a regular rock, but this was given
Mm.
to me by a tree. Can you believe that?
Yes.
I was next to the tree. I was connected with the tree. It was in the night. No one was around me. And there was not a lot of light there, but I'm connecting with the tree, and the tree, we are telepathically in communication. And he
Mm.
says for me to look down, and I look down, and I just see like about this size, and I thought it was like a piece of glass. It was really on the earth.
Sure.
And he said, it's for you, take it out. And in my head is that, oh, this is a piece of glass and let me take it out. But to my surprise, when I grab it, this whole thing come out, and it was a rock. And I'm like, oh my God. And it literally left a hole on the earth. And how come? Well, it was wet for sure. It came out so easily. It was like butter. It's a big rock. How come could I just, even the hole was there, like the whole thing is like, oh my God. And then I was so grateful, and I grabbed this and I have it with me. And sometimes I go to sleep and I sleep with it on my hand, and it has helped me tremendously to ground.
Yes.
So I have communicated with this rock, and I bring it with me sometimes. And I wanted to share that with you, and then you mentioned, and it's, oh yes, the story of the rock. So yes, I agree with what you're saying, because I have experienced it myself. So I know what we are talking about. And also, what I want to point out is your strong connection with the people of the earth and the native people of the earth. Those who are now still here, but those who are on the other side of the veil, your strong connection with them, and your strong connection with the blue avians and birds. And we can see the bird. She's there and she has it stuff and so happy and all of that. So I think what a beautiful gift you are to humanity, to share your gift and to share that knowledge and that energy that is on the book here, to really how to. This is how I see it. When we read this book, we receive an activation.
Yes.
We are communicating with those energies. We remember those things. So, is there anything that perhaps you guys would like to share with us? I don't know.
Certainly. They're never going to miss an opportunity. They've said throughout the book in many different ways that we, I, you, we are all, um, we are the sum of the knowledge of all of the ancestors who came before us. And as we tap into that oneness, the source, creator, God, we become much more than just the sum of the ancestors' knowledge. We're all knowledge. We're all being, all time, all space, all energy. I think when White Buffalo Calf woman came to me to express herself in the story, I was honored because I find her to be such an she's a compassionate woman, but she is fierce. She is one strong woman who gives and gives, but knows when to set the boundary
Yeah.
to make us responsible for our own actions. And she showed me so many things. She showed me so much joy in telling this story. Uh, and in reminded me of the fact that we are all one people. And she knew we were all coming together way back then when she walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The connections that I've made through her with some of the elders who have been working with us from the other side of the veil. Wow. It's been such an honor to work with them. Truly, it has. I've grown as a person because of them and their energies. Some of the elders that are here with us that live just down the road from me have begun
Mm-hmm.
to tell me their stories. I don't believe that that would have happened on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It happened because the ancestors are ready for the stories to be told, to be remembered.
Yeah.
They want us to heal so that we can move forward as one people in
Yes.
harmony with one another and have full and loving relationship with Mother Earth, with the water, with the wind, and with the fire,
Yeah.
and with our souls.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I do believe that um, yes, we are here to be the best we can, the better version of our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
We are their lineage, we are their seeds,
Yeah.
but it is our responsibility when we are responsible and we say, yes, I'm going to do the work, and then we try to become better.
Mm-hmm.
We always try to do our best. And I am so grateful for you to share that message of boundaries and knowing when to say no and knowing when to step and say, no, this is not right. I won't allow this. And it applies in all situations and relationships in our life. So,
Mm-hmm.
as light workers, we are so giving sometimes, and we have so much good intentions to help others. And sometimes people take advantage of that,
Yes.
or they take it for granted, or they are not open to receive. So it is not good either if they are not open to receive it. So we have to learn when to say no, and we have to learn when to stop. Okay, let me stop, because if I continue to do this, I am just emptying myself out. It's like if I was bleeding,
Mm-hmm.
depleting myself of my own sacred energy, trying to help others that are just taking. So again, balance. Balance is the key. And if we see all of this conversation, we all the time we come full circle. Full circle. So a lot of messages. Balance,
The circle
connecting.
is sacred.
Yes.
Yes, it is the first sacred piece of geometry.
Yeah.
And it's very much a part of the story. It's our life cycle. It's the way we view ourselves. We always have to come back to the beginning.
Yeah. And it's so, it's like it's great because no matter at what stage we are in our life, know that it always come back. So it doesn't matter how bad it is now, it can only going to get better at some point. So we just have to keep moving on. Listen, this has been an awesome experience. I thank you so very much, you, for doing this, writing this book, having the courage to hear, to follow that inner guidance, sharing that with us, following your heart and doing the artwork. So you wrote the book, you did the artwork, and now you are helping others to heal, you're sharing your knowledge. And we have the honor to have you as part of our community in Mighty Networks co-creation. I think what a gift you are to our community with
Oh,
your
thank
beautiful
you.
energy.
Thank you so much. It's my honor to do.
Yeah, I mean, we are honored to have you with us, and coming together, bringing our love to create a better reality. That's what we are all doing. So I thank you so very much for this interview that you so kindly gave to all of us. If there anything else that you would like to do with us tonight before we say goodbye to our viewers?
Oh, yes. I would love to say, just just take a minute and take a deep breath and close your eyes and just imagine that there are no limits, that all is possible, and indeed anything is possible. With divine intent, set forth the highest and best power of divine light within your life and just allow it and see what excitement comes from living that. I'm so grateful that you've shared your time with me tonight. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank
Many
you so
blessings.
very much. God bless you all, and thank you, the viewer, for coming with us tonight and join us in this beautiful, magical moment.